Again, freaking you out.
Yeah,
I think it's tools in action. Really, we're gonna go talk to John Miller. I know we did a video on this, and I know we did a review on this, but John Miller liked it so much that he got one and he wanted to share
and his review is probably a lot better than ours. Though.
Yes, and he wanted to share his experience with you guys. So let's go listen to him talk about the DeWALT FLEXVOLT miter saw, and I'm gonna go take a nap.
Yep.
Just buzz me when it's over.
All right.
Hey Rocky and Bullwinkle, thanks for that introduction. Today we're going to take a look at the DeWALT FLEXVOLT brushless 12-inch sliding compound miter saw. Mouthful, but you need all of that information to describe this beast. First of all, if I had a list of tools that I absolutely loved, like top 10 best tools that I got to review this last 3 or 4 years, this saw would be on it right now. Let's get that out right in front. Love, love, love this thing. So, what makes it so special? A few years ago, tool companies started coming out with cordless miter saws. As a matter of fact, DeWALT came out with a 7¼ inch miter saw. Teeny tiny little thing, ran off a 20-volt battery. Worked like a charm. Beautiful unit. Doesn't give you your biggest cut capacity, and it did well, but this thing, in my opinion, is as good or better than any corded saw out there. Yes, I said it. So let's take a look at it. First of all, let's look at the obvious. This unit runs off two, and you need two, 60-volt FLEXVOLT 2-amp-hour batteries or higher. They've come out with 12 amp-hour batteries for the 20-volt, which would make that a 4-amp-hour battery. If you've got those, great, you're gonna run forever on those. But with these 2-amp-hour battery, 60 volts, you can get a ton of cuts off of this. This thing cuts and cuts and cuts and wants more. So let's talk about how you can get this saw too before I go any farther. This saw comes in a ton of options. You can buy it bare tool, you can buy it with the 2 batteries, you could buy it with 2 batteries charger, and what we're going to talk about here in a second, your AC adapter. You can buy it with the stand, without the stand. Tons of options for purchasing the saw, so whatever you want, what fits you, what you need, your budget, whatever, they've got it for you. So, like I said, this runs off of 2 batteries. Before we go any farther, let's show you, it's kind of a hybrid saw. Take both batteries out, and then there's a little rubber plug here that connects, that stops the 2 batteries from touching, I guess. So, pull that plug out, slide this battery pack, or this adapter pack on, plug it into 110. As 2 60-volt batteries, they're operating at 120 volts, not 60 volts, 120 when you put them together. That's why you can plug this into 120 volts into the wall. So if you are somewhere where you don't have your batteries, or you don't want the batteries, or let's say you buy the saw and you're going to buy the batteries later, you can use this until you have your batteries charged, whatever. This gives you the option. I love this. I love this, love this. What I've been doing with it though is running it off of batteries all the time because that frees up a cord for my table saw. Plug them both in, you're ready to go. Now, first off, let's show you what we got here. Like I said, it's a miter saw, sliding miter. Depth of cut, straightforward. Length of, you can cut up to 16 inches deep. Let's move her over to 90 degrees here. So you've got a cut capacity of 16 inches. If you were going to cut on 45s, you have a, I believe it's a 6 3/4 inch cut capacity. Or if you're doing crown molding, a 7 1/4 nested capacity. Now, detents, let's go over here. 45 to the right, you have a 50-degree cut. To the left, you can have a 60-degree cut. I can't hit it right now, my bolt's too high, but if I did, it'd be 60-degree. Each way along the way, there's detents, 0, 45, 15, and If you want to get rid of those detents and you don't like them, you want to be able to just put it where you want it, there's a little tab up here, a little knob. Flip that up, press your button, and you can go anywhere without the detents. You're just sliding it across, find where you want, lock it into place. So sometimes if you're close to a detent and you just got to put an extra degree cut so that angle fits right. I've tried it with the ones that have permanent detents, and it wants to slide back into that detent. You get rid of that and you can make that adjustment, that micro adjustment that you need. Great option. I'm going to be using the heck out of that. All right. Lock it down with the front, of course, push the button and move it around. Now let's talk to your other angles. You got your fences that slide in and out just by adjusting, of course. Pretty standard everywhere. If you can slide them all the way out, you have your mitering capacity to the right of 49 degrees, to the left 49 degrees. Now, okay, that's to the left. So there we are, or to the right, left, whichever you want. This way it will slide. If you go back up to 0, it stays there. There's a little knob in the back here. You have to turn it to go the opposite direction. All right. Now in this direction and the other direction, there are 2 little gauges down here that if you slide them into position, like I'm sliding this over right now, now I'm going to stop. It will stop at 22.5 degrees. So that's if you got a 45 degree angle, you need 2 25.5s to make that 45. That's a permanent stop there. If I lift it up and slide that back, underneath of it is a 33.86 degrees. I'm assuming that has to do with crown molding. I don't do crown molding very well. I don't mess with it. So you've got your permanent stop there. Same thing on the other side. They're on both areas. So this has got to be a carpenter's dream here to have these permanent settings already there. So if you want to lock it back up into the 0 position, you got to turn your knob back. It locks into place. Now another thing, on the back here, in order to loosen it to go left or right, a great feature. DeWALT has gone back to it's basically like a 3-prong handle. Very easy to operate, very easy to tighten down. Something I'm big fan of. It makes it a lot easier than, I have a Bosch saw too, I love it. That always annoys me how that releases. It releases from the front, but it's a pain. This is a great way of releasing here. Now, some saws have miter or have lasers and whatnot. This has a light. There's a button on here that you can push that will activate the LED light that shines down and puts a shadow of the blade on what you're working on. Outside where we're at right now doesn't work well at all. If you're inside the garage or in a dark shop or something, or a shed, you're going to see that line. Out in the sun like this, I can't even show it to you because it's really bright. But it's a nice option. You're not going to be able to see your lasers very well in this kind of light anyway. So not a big deal there. You can lock your saw down, of course, for transportation. Put it up into place, and there's a lock back here, a little knob, and that's going to keep it from sliding. This makes it portable. There's a handle in the back here too to lift it, but let me just tell you, this saw weighs over around 75 pounds. Heavy saw to be moving, of course. It's a 12-inch. Did I mention it's brushless? So we have a brushless motor on here. Brushless motor allows you to have more power than a brush motor. It allows you to run longer because there's no friction wearing it down. There's no brushes to change. Brushless motors are the way to go here. Also, this unit has a bag collection in the back or a hose hookup. I'm not sure where my bag went because I don't use them very often. If you buy it with the charger, it comes with a double battery charger which charges 12 volts, 20 volts, or 60 volt batteries. So that is nice. It has onboard tool storage here for changing the saw blade, which has the arbor for this is a 5/8 inch arbor on the blade, just to let you know, and 12-inch saw blade. Comes with a 60 tooth blade, which has worked great for me. It's got all the anti-vibration cut into it. And you can see here there's little cutouts in the blade, and that reduces the vibration from the blade, giving you a cleaner cut. It also reduces the noise level, because if you don't have those in it, the blades I've seen in the past, it's just ear piercing. So gosh, like I said, I absolutely love this thing. And honestly, there's not an improvement I can think of with this saw. It's been cutting like a champ. Like I said, just as good as any corded version. Now, there was one option I just thought of, that's why I kind of stuttered for a second, that I forgot to tell you about. So, the one little feature, which is another really nice one. I've seen it on other saws, but it's totally worth mentioning. As you know, with miter saws cut all the way through the wood. You can cut them in half. But there's also an option with these ones that you can use where you can trench. Let's say kind of like cut out like a dado. And how you do that is right up here. Let me flip this over. Right here there's a lever that flips down. When you flip that down, there is a little knob right here that will hit that and stop it, and it's adjustable. So now I can adjust it how high I want it to be before that saw blade stops moving. I can lock it in, and as soon as I get it locked in, if I turn it the right way, you can see that it doesn't cut all the way underneath. My finger goes underneath that blade and it's not going any farther. So this way you could go ahead and trench, make your cut just like that, and not go through the wood. This is something that you'd either have to have a table saw for with a dado blade stack or a router. So this could prevent you from needing a router or table saw, and out in the field that could be really nice. So that's my thoughts on this thing. If you're not into the FlexVolt line, you're thinking about it, definitely top-notch tool I would look for. And like I said, top 10 tools right now. So until next time, I'm John from Tools in Action. Talk to you later.
For more exciting tool action, go to toolsinaction.com.